Hi, I'm Joel Bridenbaugh. Thanks for joining me. If you haven't seen the video yet on Marriage and Family Monday, dealing with passing on the faith to the next generation, making the most with your family from yesterday, go ahead and take a look at that. Next time I'll deal with Witnessing Wednesday and deal with a question to help spark a conversation about the gospel and about how one considers their basis for going to heaven. Right now, I want to deal with Select a Bible Topic Tuesday. I'm dealing with something that was popular from last time as well, but didn't quite get enough votes, and that's eternity for infants. Now, what I really mean by that is where do infants who die spend eternity? I think the Bible is clear enough on this subject that we can be confident. Let me go ahead and state it first, and I'll try to support it from Scripture. So I believe babies who die, I would even say toddlers who die, the mentally handicapped who never reach a certain age of understanding, those who pass away would go to heaven. Not that they're saved by grace, because you're saved by grace through faith, but they're kept safe by God's grace. Again, they didn't have faith, but because they didn't reach that particular age, I think God keeps them and takes them on to heaven. We know, for instance, in Deuteronomy chapter 1, whenever the Israelites were getting ready to go in the promised land, and Moses begins to say who's allowed in. He says something there in verse 39 about those that get to go in. He says, your children whom you said would be plunder, your sons who don't yet know good from evil, will enter the promised land, that is. I will give them the land and they will take possession of it. So he says these that didn't know good and evil get to go into the promised land. The promised land, as we find out in Hebrews chapters 3 and 4, is a picture of the eternal rest. The eternal rest is his heaven. So the promised land for Israel is a picture of heaven for the believer. Those who don't know good and evil get to go there. So toddlers who don't yet know good from evil, morally right and wrong, we get a chance to go to heaven. But that's just one verse. Let me share with you a little bit more. So Hebrews chapter 1 and verse 14 talks about angels and says, are they not all ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation? So angels' primary duty, where we get our word guardian angel, is to watch over those who will inherit salvation. We don't know if that's 1-to-1 ratio. Each believer has a guardian angel, or if one guardian angel watches over a group of believers, maybe a family or a church, or if there's multiple angels assigned to an individual or a group. So we don't know that, but it does say angels are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. Then we hear what Jesus says in Matthew 18. After he's talked about letting little children come to him, he's talking about little ones, probably has in mind little toddlers or young children there. He says in verse 10, see to it that you don't despise one of these little ones, because I tell you that in heaven their angels continually view the face of my Father in heaven. So he says their angels, that is the little ones, angels are watching over them. Well, angels are ministering spirits sent to serve those who will inherit salvation. So they're watching over them. Jesus goes on to say in verse 14 of Matthew 18, in the same way is not the will of your Father in heaven that one of these little ones perish. Now, perish doesn't just mean die physically. It ultimately means die spiritually. And he's saying it's not God's will that one of them would die spiritually. And so I think he's saying if they did die in this life, they have hope in the life to come. So if you ever lose a loved one, a little one that's loved, as a baby, as a toddler, as one that's mentally handicapped, I don't think you have to worry about where they spend eternity. Much like David said in 2 Samuel chapter 12, when he lost the son that was born to Bathsheba, and he pleaded for God to keep him alive, he goes on to say, hey, I never knew maybe God would show mercy, but he goes on to say that the little one would not come back to him, but he would go to him. He would go. That is, and I think David was confident in his salvation. I think he knew he would go to heaven. I think he expected that little one to be in the arms of the Lord. And so take hope in this. If you ever lose one in the womb, or you lose one early in life, that you can be confident they're going to be safe with Jesus. And if you're a follower of Jesus, you too will be reunited with them. So I hope that helps. I hope you're able to see those scriptures to be supportive of that kind of thinking. And I pray you continue to search the scriptures as you grow in your walk with the Lord. So I'll see you again real soon. God bless you.